Get to it.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Hey, man, Pokey Brewster and I is back, man. This is your host, man, and the voice, one of the voices of the Under No Condition podcast. Hey, man, I am the Ice Man, and goddamn, my wonderful co-host over there, man, looking like an old Raggedy Ann doll with some hot red
Man,
lipstick on last week,
see,
man. Tiana White, man, she was doing her thing. What's going on with you, girl?
what's going on, Ice Man? How y'all doing, man? It's so good to be back. We missed y'all, man.
Man,
For
yeah,
real.
man. We've been gone for about 2 or 3 weeks, man. I'm telling you, I've been trying to get Tiana to cash at me $2, man. She keep telling me 50
I ain't got
cent.
it, man.
We gonna have to figure something out,
Yeah, we
man.
gonna
I'm
have to, because
telling you,
I
we
ain't
gonna have to. Man, look, man, if I send you a quarter, can you send me back 50 cent? Where my phone at?
maybe I can do 10.
Man, if I cash out you 25, see, she said 10 cent. God
You want me to get I'm giving you my best. You know, it's the thought that counts. It's the
damn.
thought that counts,
Yeah,
Ice Man.
hey, for real. So the next time Atlanta Electric cut your gas and electric off, you tell me you need that $12 and I send you 50 cent and I tell you it's the thought that count. Nah, don't go see. Oh my God. What you gonna tell me is the thought that count?
Hey, listen, the Bible say don't be tipping.
Hey man, y'all see what we go through, man. This what happened, man, when
All day,
you
every
know
day.
life get the life in, man, and sometimes we gotta make some decisions to do some other things. But we back with you. We are back with you. We are back in the house. Hey T, what we doing today? I can't.
Oh, Auntie is back. Wait a minute.
Yeah, we got you. We got you. You back in
All
the
right,
house?
so we've been all so you know your girl been lurking all through social media, but I came across a something on Facebook. There was a lady who did a video, and I want to talk about the need to access different jobs. Is it access, whatever, different jobs out to other people for us to do? And
Yeah,
what kind of struck me with this lady is that um all her kids, as soon as they hit the first grade, she put them in boarding school. And if y'all don't know what boarding school is, it's a private education. The kids go to, it's like college. It's basically like college. So the kids go and live on campus somewhere, and they probably come home, the weekends, holidays, things and such like that. And I'm sure their parents can pick them up and spend time with them, during the week or however they have you. But the premise is that they stay there all week long. And so I was reading through the comments, because initially when I saw it, man, Iceman, I'm like, what type of nonsense is this? You know what I'm saying? This is an African American woman, and it felt so strange to me. Um, but what made me really think about it is my father's mother, my nana, my aunt went to boarding school when she was in high school. You know what I'm saying?
I
And she
got you. I
had her
got you.
different reasons as to why she did that. It wasn't like a behavioral issue.
Right.
Um, but then also too, what struck me is that I felt some type of way, primarily because it was a black woman. Because we don't do that. Because society tells us we gotta tough it out. Those your kids, which they are, and you raise them, and that's just not the normal thing to do as a mom. So I had to check myself, and so I wanted to talk about that tonight, as far as with the black community, how we are. Some of us have the opportunity to access things, but why do we feel like when we pay other people to do, I guess, the basic things as far as coming to cook, clean the house, board in school, things like that. Why do we see that as something that's so unfamiliar to our culture, but to other cultures it's fine? So I think we should, talk about that tonight. And I want to get your
Well,
thoughts about it too. Just thinking back in hindsight, if your partner came to you and said, listen, little Kevin is getting ready to hit first grade. I want to send him to boarding school. Sometimes boarding school could be in the same state, or sometimes it could be in a different state. As a father, what would be your thoughts?
hey, first of all, everybody know, right? You came loaded tonight. I'm gonna say that. You came real loaded tonight. And we talking about 1 year olds, we talking about first graders,
Mm-hmm.
we talking about family dynamics, we talking about family decisions. And I feel like if that's a decision that you want to make for your child for whatever reasons
Mm-hmm.
it is, then I feel like you're free to make that decision. On the other hand, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Is that the United States, our school systems is failing us, has failed us for years, right?
Absolutely. Agree.
So I don't have a problem with a parent, whether it's a father or a mother, wanting to best for their kids.
Mm-hmm.
However, you spending that extra 10, 15, $20,000 a year to go to boarding school doesn't validate or
Right.
won't confirm that they will be no better than they were in public school, or they're in private school, or that they're in boarding school, right?
Right.
Now, my personal experiences, I knew quite a few people that did have their kids go to private school or boarding school, and it was ego based.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
my son in private school, my son in boarding school. But man, your son out here was still with me on the corners when he come home from school trying to
Right.
get this bread.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a mixed shell, because as a parent, we always talk about we want our kids to be better than us,
Right.
but it's really no guarantee that that's going to happen. As a parent,
Absolutely.
we
Absolutely.
hope for the best. We give them the best lessons that we possibly can, and we just we pray to God, hopefully, that they can get to a place where we don't have to worry about whether or not they're gonna make it or not.
Yeah.
Now, let's do this, right? Think about this. You and I, we got young adult kids.
Right.
What do you think is going to be like for your kids 10 years from now?
Yeah. It's the experience is totally different. Like even now, my daughter is 17, she'll be graduating 2024 and going to college. I went to college in 2000, just 23 years ago, and the experience is totally different. And we're not just talking about costs. You know what I'm saying? We're not just talking about how much you pay, and let's not even touch the curriculum. The curriculum is totally different because of the needs of society. But I can imagine what it's going to be like for her when she gets out of school. Let's just say 2029, she do 5 years, 4 or 5 years. The cost of living, what's to be expected of her, and as far as her career, it's different. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different.
And,
They don't have, like, just like with our parents. Our parents bought it, could buy a house, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Now you're finding that people are older. It's not common to buy a house at 24 no more. Now it's happening, don't get me wrong, it's definitely happening. But if you see that with the generations, it's taking longer. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you deck down with student loans. You know what I mean? But I wanted to double back to what you said. You made a very good point, and I want to play devil's advocate too. Like, we here on the show, y'all, we not telling nobody what you need to do. We just going back and forth and expressing our opinions, and you eat the meat and throw away the bone. But like you said, this goes to even a situation with my daughter. My daughter wants to be a chef. So she's not going to a traditional school. Now she has the grades to get her into Yale, Harvard,
exactly,
MIT, wherever she want to go. She has the
exactly.
grades to do that. She has the intellect to do that. But just because she go there, don't guarantee that she gonna come out and be this, successful person. It's not about, I don't think it's about so much where you go. I think about it's your mentality, it's your drive, it's what you willing to do. Because you could put, I'm just saying, a hustler anywhere. And a hustler, somebody that has a
He
hustler
gonna make it.
mentality that's gonna stay on top, you could put them
He
in
gonna make it.
Nebraska, they're gonna make it.
I
You
tell
know
you,
what
you can
I'm
put
saying?
me in the
So
woods and the bears gonna dance, man. I'm gonna do what I do because
exactly.
it's just part of my
It's a
DNA,
it's a
and I
part of their
understand
core.
that. And we can also look at it like this. We're talking about that because a lot of times, with our kids, the careers and the curriculum and the things that they want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't teach our kids to really do the research. Think about what you want to do,
So true.
and
So
and
true.
let's look at a 10, 15 years down the line, right?
Right.
Is this
Right.
career going to be beneficial?
Right.
Are you this $120,000 that you get ready to spend?
Spending on school.
And right, in 10 years, are you going to be able to look back and look at yourself and say, you know what, I really made the right
The best
decision,
decision.
right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, a lot of college graduates, they go to school and they have their own envision of what they want to
What
be
it's
or
gonna be
what they
like.
think
Exactly.
or what it's going to be like. And, you know, face to face, I'm seeing a lot of kids coming out of school with these master's degrees and they still make it 37,000,
Thank you. Thank
32,000,
you. Thank
39,000,
Yeah.
and they paying $900 a month student
For
loan,
student loans. Right.
still living home
Right.
with their moms, you know. And on top of that, they still trying to and hang out with the Joneses
And have a
and
life.
and be what their peers want them think what their peers want them to be and have a life and crying every day.
Every day. And that's a good point. Like, for example, y'all, in the state of Georgia, there's something called the Hope Scholarship, Hope Grant. And to all students who are residents of Georgia, if you maintained a certain grade point average through high school and then to college, they'll pay for you to go to school for 4 years. And so initially, when my daughter was looking for schools, she wanted to go around the country. And I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I'm
Exactly.
never going to tell her not to go somewhere unless it's just in my heart, like, baby, I ain't feeling that. I'm not getting a good vibe. But what I explained to her is that you go to school, depending on the type of education you get, you go to school, you go out of the state, you pay, you come out after 4 years with 120 to $200,000 worth of student loans when you could have gone to school here in Georgia. Now I know some people say Georgia might not have the best school, but we don't have the worst schools either. But if I'm going to school for, let's just say, business administration, and I can go to Georgia State or University of Georgia for free, I know it probably look good if I go to Harvard Business School, but
Exactly.
financially, am I going to be a better person? I mean, in a good financial state when I graduate. And I explained that to
Exactly.
her. Like, for example, y'all, just being transparent. I went to school in 2000 to 2003.
Seemed like we lost our girl. What's happening, man? That Georgia, that GNA kicked in. All right, she's probably gonna check back in. However, for you guys to just join us, there she go. There she go. There she
Real
go.
quick,
Oh,
like I was telling you, I'm
hey,
gonna wrap it up. I was explaining to my daughter, I went to school in 2000 to 2003. My school unfortunately lost accreditation, Morris Brown, right before I graduated. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I felt like, because I ain't graduating, they lost the accreditation, I wasn't gonna pay my student loans. And I didn't for a long time. Forbearance, default, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Deferment.
yeah,
I done been through it all, but
yeah.
I still owe $36,000, and here we are, 20 years later. You
And they
understand
want
what
they
I'm saying?
and they want their
I'm
bread.
having to pay $400-500 on student loans from that I didn't even finish school. So just imagine
Yeah.
if I would have finished, you know what I'm saying, and all that interest accrued. And she was like, "But mom, you didn't finish because they lost accreditation. They don't care. You gonna pay them. You gonna pay taxes, and you gonna pay student loans,
Look, I'm still paying mine.
right?"
I'm still paying mine. I'm on a payment plan just like everybody else. And
Exactly.
it's interesting when it comes to these schools because in about 5 years, in about 5 to 7 years, we we won't even be able to afford to go.
Absolutely.
We
I,
will not be able to afford to go to some of the best schools, and a lot of our local schools, as far as their curriculum and everything, they're getting better. But people think about, well, I would just, they think about the prestige, and you really have to change that mindset
You have
and
to.
get out of thinking about the prestige and thinking about the quality of the education that you're going to get from the school.
Exactly.
And
That's
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 really,
the
really
that's the
important.
that's the deal. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of factors that come into it. But I like what you said at the beginning. You can't select schools, boarding schools, elementary, middle, college, high schools based on your ego. You have to
Yeah,
know the needs of your children because you might be able to afford to send your child to Harvard, but guess what? UCLA might be a better option to meet their needs, or
exactly.
University of Texas might be a better option. So you need to know your children and be able to guide them and say, look, baby, I know you want to go to Harvard. You know, they're going to give you a scholarship and that's all good and fine. But is this going to meet your needs education wise? But, you know, it's a whole lot that goes into it, man. And I'm learning so much along the way, too. And I
And,
only been out of school 20 years, you know?
and you know what? You'd be surprised how many individuals go to these schools, these prestige schools, and they go there for a year and a half, and then they come home and tell their parents, I don't want to do it no more.
I'm
And their
not.
parents, their parents already, now their parents out 60 grand.
Yep. Oh, hold on. Some of the prestigious schools, 60 grand. You go 2 years is 120. It's 60
120.
grand 2 years. Like for example, like for example, Harmony's gonna go to she gonna go to school here in Georgia and get her business degree and all that for free. But then she's gonna go to CIA in California. CIA, y'all, and I know you seen my post on Facebook. CIA is $60,000 a year, which we knew. Culinary Institute of America, Napa Valley, whatever. $60,000, and they got these kids on bunk beds. She has the option to pick a room with bunk beds at 60 some $1,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? And that just baffles me. It just, I know that's kind of off to the left, but it just, again, you gotta know that where your child needs to be, and they gotta know too. You know what I'm saying? It's a sacrifice. Do my child want to sleep on a bunk bed? Absolutely not. But that's the best option for her as far as culinary school. You understand what I'm saying? For her.
Hey, well, I can't cash out you no money.
Hey, can I tell you something?
I can send
Hey,
I can I can send you a blanket.
hold on. Y'all don't tell nobody. But Auntie got a plan. I'm thinking about hold on. Y'all just bear with me. I'm thinking about setting up a OnlyFans and doing some little toe modeling. And I think if I start next month, by 2026, I can have
Man, go
enough.
sit your ass down.
I can have enough saved up for 1 year. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
man.
So
Hey, Auntie, man, she is cutting up, man. I'm telling you, she
nah.
is cutting up.
No,
Hey,
but back to the boarding school. Would you be okay? Would you like thinking about your children? Would you be okay with that? Like at that time, like first grade, because I think first grade was what 5, 6.
hey, you know what? I wanted to go to private school. My mother was like, nah. My parents was like, nah.
Mm-hmm.
Because they understood, right? Not only the value of the dollar. However, when you know your kids,
Mm-hmm.
they just be like, man, you go to this private school, you don't finish the school, man. Man, I'm gonna break every bone in your body.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? I
Yeah.
get up there, man. I get to cutting up because I was acting up, so I don't think I'd have made it through private school. So
Well,
I'm glad.
we in the same boat because
Yeah,
that's what
I'm glad.
happened.
I'm glad I didn't go. But you know what? Even having a degree, and doing the work that I'm doing, me personally, I don't suggest kids go to college. Go to vocational school. Go
Right.
get you a skill,
Mm-hmm.
because after you do that 4 years of college and you got that $90,000 on your back, it's no guarantee you're gonna get a job in the field that you in.
Right. 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 I
Now
agree.
you frustrate. You know how
I
many
agree.
people got master's degrees that's working at McDonald's, that's working
Yeah.
at Chick-fil-A, that's
Yeah.
working at Foot Locker, that's working at Finish Line, that's working on a trash truck,
Right.
that's doing a
Yeah.
government job that they don't like, but they got $130,000 worth of student loan.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a man. That's no joke. You know what I'm saying? It's no joke. My son,
No, it ain't no joke.
nah, my son, he's 18. He's gonna be graduating next year too, and he's a 4.0 student. You know, he had talked to me about doing social work, and shout out to the people doing social work, but he wanted to go to Northeastern University. And I'm like, babe, you know what I'm saying? I had to break it down. I said, I'm not discouraging you, but you got to think about the long term. He thinking, oh, I'm gonna get out, do social work. I probably, mom should probably make about 130. No,
That's not gonna happen.
that's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's not
That's
gonna
not gonna
happen.
happen. You know?
Look, I do the work, and it took me a long time to get to six figures.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Because reality is that when you come out of school and you got that master's or that bachelor's,
Mm-hmm.
they don't care nothing about that degree. What type of experience are you bringing to the table?
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
Because the type of population that you're going to have to deal with, no school going to teach you that.
Right. You gotta
They're not going
know.
to teach. Yeah.
Yeah.
And every modality that you go to is different. So just because I might know something from this modality, if I go to another job and I go to another modality, what I know from the last modality, I got to put that on the side until I learn this. Then I can integrate. That
Put them
take
together.
years.
Right. Right.
That take years. And
Right.
then when you start hitting around 85, $90,000 a year, man, they be acting like they did you a favor. And if you ain't careful and if you're not in the right modality, they'll work you like a cheap slave. So what's really, really important is really understanding not only what you want to do, but understanding the sacrifice that you're gonna have to continue to put in to get to where you go. Because if you think you're gonna come out of school and you're gonna make this 60 and this 50 and this $70,000 a year, that's not gonna happen. And if you do find a job that's paying you that much, guess what? They're gonna want more from you than you possibly can cover.
Right.
And you got to really, really understand that because in whether you're a counselor, whether you're a social worker, whether you're a psychologist, whether you're a psychiatrist, guess what? We work to the bone.
Right.
And I
Right.
work I work in a fast-paced facility,
Mm-hmm.
and my doors be opening and closing all day. And if you don't have the mentality to manage just that,
Mm-hmm.
we're not talking about understanding all the OASIS and the SAMHSA rules and regulations and
Okay.
bylaws, and man, it's a lot. and
Okay.
and if it's not something that you love at
Right.
that level, I tell people, I don't even encourage people to go into social work.
Mm.
I really don't encourage people. I tell
Because
people,
do
if
you
you
feel
don't,
like it has to be a hard job? Like it's a job
it's
you gotta
it's
have a heart for?
no, it's a thankless job.
Okay. Got you.
It's really a thankless job. It's one of those jobs where if it's not in your heart to do,
You can't do it.
you can't do
Okay.
it.
Okay.
And if you go in there for if you go in there for the reason of healing, because some of the clinicians, some of the professionals are worse than the clients.
Mm. Mm.
Now, now you got to deal with that, and you got to deal with the client, and then you got to deal with everything that goes on top of that. And then remember, when you leave work, you got to separate your job because you got to come home, take care of your family.
I
You
was
got to
gonna
deal with
ask
those
you.
issues. You know what
Got
I'm
you.
saying? You got to be able to turn it on,
Now,
and you got to be
Iceman,
able to turn it off.
do they teach you
Now,
how to do
oh,
that, or was that something you had to learn over the years
oh man, I had to learn that over years. Ain't no school teaching me that.
to turn it off? Okay.
You got to find your own processing time,
Okay.
because they're not going to tell you, oh, you got a 15-minute break you need to take, go to lunch. They're not going to tell you, Isaac, take your hour lunch. They don't care.
Right.
They hope you don't take your lunch so you can finish that work.
Okay.
They
Got
hope you don't take that 15 minutes so you can see that client. So guess what? So they can get their paper.
you. Right. Understood. Understood.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, I enjoy what I do. I've been doing it for a long time, and I've been able to navigate some systems that have put me in a position where I can take care of my family, take care of myself,
Mm-hmm.
and still continue to enjoy what I'm doing. However, I tell people it is rigorous emotional work,
Work.
and I suggest anybody that's doing this work. I don't care what you feel about psychiatrists or psychologists. You but go get you one
Okay.
and go see him or her once a month
Got you.
because you ingest and entail everything through all your clients. You
Mm.
hearing you hearing all that, and
Okay.
some of the stories you may hear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe a transference,
Right.
and you may need to have to get that to somebody else.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense.
You know what I'm
That
saying?
makes sense.
So
Yeah.
it's it's a very thankless field.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I enjoy what I'm doing. So for me, I don't need validation from my administration because I get the opportunity to see the results. And sometimes the results is not going to always be the way you want them to be. You could
Right.
see 1,000, you could see 100 patients. Out of them 100 patients, 2 of them might be successful,
Right. Got
and
you.
65 of them you're going to see again.
Right. But you got to learn. I'm assuming you got to learn that that's not a reflection just upon you. It's just
It's
that's just
not.
the way life is. Okay.
No, it's not a reflection of you as a professional, but at some point it gets to you
Okay.
because you're looking at we talking about human beings, and at some point you be like, man, I want you to get it, but then
Right.
you got to understand, do you want to get it?
Right. Understood.
You
Got
understand what I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's a gift, and it's a gift and it's a curse.
Mm-hmm.
You can make good money in it, but not coming right in. You're gonna have to work and get some experience and understand different modalities, and you're gonna have to do some training and get some other skills under your belt that will allow you to put you in that position where
Right.
now when you start seeing jobs for 110 to 140, you can stick your foot in the door and be like, look, I can do that. I'm
Right.
qualified to make that
To do that.
150.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
qualified to make that 110 or that 125 or that 98 or
Mm-hmm.
that 95. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where now you can be like, okay, you know what? I can really contribute and I can be the provider that I want to be.
Right.
Because if you think about it, in the next 5 to 10 years, 80,000 ain't gonna be nothing.
It's not. It's not. When I was coming up, man, what 60, 70 was, you know what I'm saying? That was like, man, you making 60 grand, and I remember when I was working for the post office and I called my father and I told him how much I made at the time. And I think I was in my 20s, and I was like, yeah, Dad, I made 65 last year. And he just couldn't believe it. He like
Yeah,
$65. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it was
yeah,
foreign. But like you said, 80 not even gonna be able to
yeah,
sustain basic quality of life in a couple of years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because at this point in the in our life what we doing, if you making 85, you are right.
Yeah.
You can take care of yourself, and if you got a partner that don't mind, you know, putting the chips together, and both of
Yeah.
y'all making
And they
85.
and
Oh,
both of y'all making 80. Shoot, you
yeah,
in
man.
there.
You in
Yeah.
you in there like you in like Flint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You in
Hey,
it. You
so
in there.
whoever out there, if you're single and you making 200,
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. Don't do it. I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. Don't do it, man. I ain't advocate.
Auntie love the
I ain't.
Lord though. We
I
gotta
ain't.
love the
I ain't.
Lord.
I'm not. I am not gonna advocate for Auntie. I'm telling you right now, if you make it 200, 150, 90, 85, 99, stay away from Auntie.
Cause you about to put my daughter through school for real.
Hey, she need that college tuition, and she
Yes.
need that thing right now.
Y'all excuse me. It's a little nut in here. These Georgia nuts. There's only one, y'all. Don't come from my house. But excuse me. But anyway,
Hey,
yeah,
that's
man.
that's all right.
That's a
Hey,
lot
man,
to process.
hey, yeah, we like, you know what? Before we go, you talked about at the beginning of the show how many households and many families they export outside services to
Yeah.
tackle their everyday I call them daily living skills.
Yeah.
Like you know, I don't have a problem with somebody coming in once a month cleaning my house. However, I do want to be able to have the acquired skills to understand how to really clean and what I
Right.
really need to do. Because 65% of American households, women and men, don't even know how to cook.
Yeah, that's true. My thoughts on it, y'all gonna have to deal with me because I'm still old fashioned, but I'm learning through reading, therapy, that whatever causes a lot of friction in your life and a lot of stress that you can eliminate to a certain extent. Now you can't eliminate your husband or wife now, y'all. We talking
Yeah,
about a task.
yeah,
You should do that. Me personally, I don't feel like my house clean unless I cleaned it. But guess what? If you want to talk about taking the trash, like I will pay somebody to come to my house every day to take my trash out. So some other people that's not really, I would if I could find somebody.
hey man,
Maintenance on cars, ironing clothes. I mean, I do my own washing, but certain things I don't have a problem with. But I'm learning with our generation. Some people just not. They feel like you're not a wife or you're not a husband if you doing those things. You know what I'm saying? Like you see
yeah,
people
I
that have people
understand.
come in and cook for them. Like I saw a lady on Instagram and she had somebody come in. She has just two kids, not just she has two kids, and she's a stay-at-home mom. But she pays somebody to come in and cook. And a lot of people like, you a stay-at-home mom, you got da-da-da. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But to
yeah,
her, that's a task that relieves stress for her to spend more time with her kids and for her not to be so irritable with her kids. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So,
I mean,
to each his own.
I understand it. Unfortunately, just me personally, I grew up in a household. My mom cooked, my sister cooked, my
Yeah.
grandparents cooked, my auntie cooked. The men in my life worked on cars. We
Mm-hmm.
painted. We did electrical work. We
Right.
took out the trash. We washed clothes. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for me, as far as like handling daily living skills, working on a car, doing some electrical work around the house, fixing and things like that. It was
Mm-hmm.
instilled into me at an early
At
age.
an
So
early
it's,
age.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, so it's nothing that I don't have a problem doing. It's
Right.
just like with my work schedule, I have to find time, and when I
To
find
do
time,
it.
I get it done.
Right.
Unfortunately, I can do it. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Right.
I can do it.
Can you
Unfortunately,
fix a flat tire? Because a
I
lot of
sure
dudes
could.
can't. Oh, you
Oh, I
could?
oh
Is it gonna take you 3 hours? I'm just asking because I done been out and my tire done got flat and he looking at me, I'm looking at him. Can you fix a tire?
hey you Man, you better go sit your motherfucking ass down. Cause what I'm giving everybody to say right now, man. Look, let me tell you something. You out with that motherfucker Bama, and that Bama can't change no motherfucking tire. His ass need to be walking.
He looking at me,
Hey,
I'm looking at him.
hey, man, look, you looking at him, he looking at you. Y'all trying to figure out which one of y'all gonna go down and get dirty. He don't even want to go. He don't even want to get dirty. He got to go. See, you done got me started, but I know we got to end the show.
We
We
got
might
to
have
end
to.
the show. We
Yeah,
got to end the show.
we got to pick this one up next week. But
Yes,
guess what?
indeed.
He should have been walking. You should have been like, man, y'all know what
Get
I
out of
want,
here,
man.
Bama.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Go sit your ass down.
Down.
You already know what it is. Man, hey, man, we enjoy touching bases with you guys. We are
Yes, we
back in the
did.
building, man. I'm your co-host, Isaac, with my wonderful co-host, Tiana. This is the Under No Conditions podcast. Guess what? We out, and we most definitely see you next week. And if ain't nobody tell you that they love you today,
We
man,
love you.
guess what? We love you. Peace.
Bye.